Hi all, fellow Bubble.io enthusiasts. How are you guys doing today? We're going to be going over schedules and set states and, just some of the issues I ran into with Bubble, considering it is a very robust piece of software. Okay. Very nice. If you want it for, as I said in the previous intro video, if you want it to, make a health app, great, right? But out of the box, and then you got to get into a little bit more intricacies, it gets a little bit difficult. So again, I'm not going to go into too much. I'm going to show and tell. Okay. So right here, I'm going to give you a little bit of a, just a we're in the sales prospect area. In the sales prospect area, what this is basically, we got prospecting, sales, and cleaners go out. And as you can see here, we got a phone number. I'm going to put Cardinal Software Consulting, Nadeem Sayani at gmail.com. I'm going to put the title Mr., okay, because I am a Mr. and I am a he. There's no he, him, she, or this or that, right? But, I should have cut that out. Okay. Here we go. Prospect notes. Let's add that. One call. Okay. And one of the hardest features in Bubble, wrapping your head around as a developer, as a 30-year veteran .NET architect developer, we run into a lot of issues with things like we're used to seeing a for loop, right? So again, just to show you, we got a basic for loop here. And, right in here, we want to do a console.log, or in Bubble, we want to perform other actions, such as process the image, save it to another API workflow, something of the sort. And that becomes a little bit difficult in Bubble.io. So in Bubble.io, we use something called schedules, okay? Now, these are pretty much, the only way you can have a function call another function, okay? And it uses backend workflows, right? So, you want to iterate through a list or an array or a list in this instance. And for example, here, to give you some context, we're going to upload some files, right? And we want to iterate through the images. So, okay, here we go. I am going to add a thumbnail. Okay, there we go. As you can see, we got a thumbnail in the list. Okay, this was quite easy to do, not very difficult. However, here we go. Okay, good, great, we got one. Now we're going into the Bubble editor, and let's go into here, and let's put first we're going to, okay, so you can see here we got a CRM called Method, and Method has an API, it's Method CRM. They have an API, great CRM piece of software, and I was running into a lot of issues on this, right? To the point where now in Essence as well, so we create a new customer lead, we get a contact lead by the record. Over here, I had to actually grab the raw body text to grab the entity record ID. Inside Method CRM, there is an entity record ID and a record ID. So there's quite a differentiation, as you can tell, an entity versus a record ID, the subset of an entity record, right? Entity record being the global record ID. So over there, we were able to grab the record ID. And over here, this is where we actually get into schedule. Schedule API workflow process. And let me get into that. So right in here, we can't really, we go here, type of things, image, right? We got a selection of other things. Image is just basically basic image, right? What did we upload right now? We upload an image. Then we go a list to run on, and we go to the group inquiries temp images. So now the group inquiry is right over here. This whole form itself is under the group inquiry, and I will show you that right here. And if we go here, we look at the group inquiry right there. And as you can see right there, upload file, uploaded, and this is exactly where we're heading into, okay? Just to give you a little bit of background on that. Then we actually go to process images. This is an API workflow. Now I'll get into that into just a minute, okay? But what we're going to have is this image, because we're going to process the image, and the record ID and the entity record ID, as I mentioned earlier and previously. We're going to ignore privacy rules when running the workflow, and we're going to schedule it. Now, Bubble's biggest feature is it becomes so fast that it literally could skip it if you don't add a delay of interval of 3 seconds or 5 seconds. You know, it's not hard to do underneath the hood, but you know, that's what we got now with Bubble. Okay, so over here, let me go into the backend workflows. So the API workflow is so as you can see, we got a list here, and we're going to call a API workflow. Now, generally, we couldn't do this before inside a set state screen, right? As you can see here, we got a value, we got a screen. We add the value to something called a state. States are where we can hold the array. So as you can see here in a for loop, the for loop right here is the constant, which is the list, which is the state of what we're going to actually put it into. And then we're going to do a for loop, and inside here, instead of the console.log, we want to process the image, okay? Processing the image is our main goal here over a list, right? So as you can see, I uploaded a list of thumbnails, and then I want to process these images and save them into method CRM. So let me just pull this back here. Great. And, you know, we're going into there. We go here. And let's go now. This process images, you're wondering, where is it? Where do I create it? Like, you know, we can't create it here. We can't create it over here or anywhere. We actually go here and we actually go, oh God, backend workflows. Let me just find it, okay? And sorry about this. Where's the backend workflows? Add a new page. Oh God. Yeah, there we go. Backend workflows. Almost lost it. As you can see here, process images. Okay, great. What do? We actually go to method, and we actually took in those parameters of record ID. As you can see here, we go here, and we actually add the parameters. So as you can see here, we process images right there. Exposed as a public API workflow. This means that basically if we have a separate process or something, we want to expose process images, we want to do this on a separate web page, we can still use bubble.io and use the whole concept behind that, okay? So we actually use a post and we actually add image. This is the actual image, the individual image in the array that we are processing now. So we got a list of images, as you can see, group inquiry, temp images, and then we're actually processing it through. For those newbies, this is why I'm going a little bit in depth, right? And always remember, in bubble.io, in any CRM, ERP type system, there's a certain vernacular. And what I mean by vernacular, there's a certain vocabulary, right? Just like in law, just like in anything else, we got to use the correct vernacular. And so Bubble kind of obfuscates that. They call it schedule, but really it's a method within a method, and they base it around a schedule, okay? So it's a separate vernacular, but this is kind of how we process a list and how we can have a list in a for loop, a list and then a for loop and then process the images in there. And we're actually passing in the image, the record ID, and the entity record ID. As you can see here, then we actually upload, okay, the actual image. And in that image, we have the dynamic link and the URL. So as you can see here, the image is URL that was passed in here because this is an image. So we got file upload, contacts, record ID, and no attached to the email. Then we actually, I ran into a lot of issues with the file upload because Bubble didn't actually return anything back. And it was giving me a lot of garbage with that, which was really interesting because on other workflows, it's given it back in a raw body text. Then we actually got into get file URL. So I actually had to get it, the record ID, and this was the biggest thing, is to get the formatted URL based on the body of step 1, and this body is the actual the file upload, because when I did a file upload, then I went to get the actual file, it wasn't giving it to me. Then I had to get the actual file URL. Then I created a temp image files database table, and this is kind of how we do it. We, create a new temp image file inside the database. And as you can see, a result of step 1, the body ID, record ID, current user's email, entity record ID, make changes to image temp file. This is where I had to add arbitrary text. Result of step 2, as you can see, step 2 is the get file URL. Yes, this is it. and I had to append the arbitrary text. And then from there, I was actually able to process the image. And let's go back to here and we go to submit. And, right there, we can actually go and get the pages on a list. As you can see, process images, this image from temp images, we're actually processing it. And then we're actually getting the record ID, passing it in. And as you can see, continuing on over there. Okay, so that's a little bit of a synopsis in a quick aspect, right? I'm going to elaborate more on this, right? Going down the pipeline here in the next video. And, the rest wasn't that bad. The biggest issue I ran into with Bubble.io is it was doing a double postback. And so basically what that means is, when we go here, we refresh the page after submit, that's called a postback. And then we did a double postback. So I had to enforce that this was actually being saved twice and then remove it, because basically what it would do is it would hold on to the original record when I submitted to the Method CRM. Now, it wasn't Method CRM's issue. Bubble.io, I've got the Postman, and Bubble.io developers just kept on saying, oh, it's got to be their issue, their issue, their issue. But again, they're very busy, they're very helpful, but at the same token, there's a lot of deficiencies in the underneath the hood. But there are workarounds, right? And those workarounds come from a guy like me, hey, how do we work around this? How do we work around that? One of the things I'm running into right now is the workaround for the BDK deployment. And the BDK deployment has some issues with its GPS location and asking permission, and they refused to fix it and said, oh, it's because you're using other REST methods. I tested it. I'm a seasoned developer. I know what I'm talking about. And, it took them I think about 8 days to get back to me, and literally just a big waste of time with their support. So, getting the current location, getting the user's GPS, I was able to find a workaround using Bubble's internal GPS capabilities and just basically getting the known location. And we had to use that for a lot of scheduling, because what we did was we did scheduling and bookings by location. So it's quite intrinsic and quite beautiful. But there are issues inside Bubble.io. I will be getting into it shortly here. But just keep that in mind, right? There are workarounds, right? And, you don't blame them. It's in its infancy. And what I'm saying is not that you're going to run into these issues and 20 million people are running into these issues. It's maybe, a couple of oddballs, like 20% edge cases for some reason. And when you haven't tested it out and you're releasing betas, it's really a lot of things up in the air. But again, Bubble support has been very helpful, very nice to deal with, and very proactive. I got to say, hands down, they're very similar to GoDaddy's CRM customer support, and I really was enthusiastic about working with Bubble. 30 years doing this, and the issues that I run into, they were actually really fun. They were fun, right? Now, without further ado, I'll let that go. So don't forget, you got a list. You got a list, and then you're trying to, have workflows in the back end based on this list, just like a for loop. And this is how you deal with a for loop full of items and arrays and things in the list or whatever not. Okay, have a good day. Signing off, and look forward to the next video. I'll be wearing the same shirt and tie, I think, and let's do that again. Okay, take care. Bye.